Hello guys, in this video we'll discuss A2A protocol using Rust. Basically, Google open source A2A protocol, I would say sometime mid Q2 this year. And with all these developments in AI, we are moving very fast from function or tool calling to MCP, A2A. We have covered mostly everything on this channel. There should be videos popping on your right top. Make sure to click it, watch it, use all those features with Rust as well. But in this video specifically, we'll dive deep into A2A protocol. We'll try to understand and then do a hands-on. We'll also set up the observability for A2A. So without further ado, let's dive into it and let's start. And as we start, there's a link to my Discord in description. So make sure you join it. First of all, let's try to understand why do we even need A2A protocol or any such protocol? Now, in this modern age where we are building applications with AI and we are even automating complex tasks, now these tasks can sometimes require expertise of multiple specialized agents. For example, for planning a trip might involve agents specializing in flight booking, hotel recommendations, local activities, even commuting locally. Now, without a standardized protocol, each of these agents would need some custom integration in code. For example, an agent that gives me flight details, but now I have to integrate with booking where I'm doing the booking and stuff. Similarly for activities and stuff. Now what happens is if you add that custom integration, you require then custom integration for literally each agent or tool that you are building. And what that does is create inconsistent communication patterns, incompatible data formats, like every agent, there is no standard. So every agent can literally return or accept anything. And then once there is integration with code, it's always difficult to maintain and update. But A2A solves all of these problems by providing ability where agents can discover each other. So you don't need to create any integration or tell each other that, how the other agent behaves or what could be the communication pattern or style. And the agents can exchange information, process tasks in more of collaboration. And then if there are any handle exceptions or errors could be also handled as well. So that's what A2A does. That's why we need A2A basically to create some standard because it's a protocol. It's a standard which all of agents then follow to communicate and perform these expensive tasks as booking a flight or booking your whole trip. Now, since we know we need something that can be a standard and agents can use to communicate, let's understand then what is A2A protocol. So right here, as you can see, A2A protocol facilitates communication between client and agent and remote agent through a structured process. So basically client and server both are agent in this case, but client has some information and remote agent or server has some information or some specialized tasks which then client can interact with a remote agent to perform those tasks. So right here, if we look at this flow, we have a client, an agent, a remote server, another agent. Initially, there is a discovery phase. Now, client agent needs to know what skills or capabilities the server agent has. So there is a discovery phase where client gets the agent card to know the skills and abilities and communication and stuff. Then once client has all that information, now client wants remote agent to perform certain tasks. So a task is submitted in this initiation phase. So we send a task and subscribe for notifications, or it's like optional. So we send a task and we get a task ID. Now comes the processing phase where remote agent or the server is processing my task. Now my client, if subscribed, can get updates. If not, can also poll for updates as well. Like with the ID, it can get the updates, or if required can provide more input. As you can see, more input required, then in the interaction phase can give more input, or even if want to terminate, or I would say cancel a task, then also can initiate the cancellation and stuff. And finally comes the completion phase where you get your completed, failed, or cancelled, whatever the result of the task was. So basically you don't have to create your own communication or your own client and server. You can just use A2A and you don't need to create any endpoints or anything and stuff. Just client and server, client agent, server agent talking to each other sharing the information and processing the task. As easy as it gets. Now let's get to the business end as we try to develop a pretty basic implementation of A2A protocol in Rust. Pretty straightforward project structure. We have client and server, both side client agent and server agent, and an agent RS where we'll provide the implementation of our task handler and stuff. So first of all, let's add a few dependencies that we need. Quickly set up these dependencies that we need. A2A RS helps us with implementation of A2A protocol in Rust. REST dependencies we have been pretty much using in different videos for async programming and generating unique IDs. And then we have two separate binaries for server and client. Now let's move to agent RS where we add the processing and stuff before we start using it with server and client. In this video, we'll be building an echo agent, which basically echoes back whatever the client sent. For this video, we'll not be using any LLM or building any complex stuff. We'll just stick our focus for this video to understand how to actually do the implementation for A2A in Rust before in the future videos we build some complex agents that communicate with each other on more broader or more, I would say, complex tasks. But here it's just for echoing. Now first of all, we need an in-memory task storage for tracking the task. As I mentioned, everything here is a task. You can use in-memory task storage from A2ARS, or we can use an persistent storage as well. For now, let's stick with the in-memory storage. And then we need to provide an implementation for async message handler to handle the incoming message. And right here, what we do is we just use the built-in message handler dot process message, which should just do an echo of our task. So after we have our message handler, we need an implementation of task manager. Remember, all of these traits are from A2A. So now we provide an implementation of task manager. Again, everything here is a task. Create a task, get a task by ID, then you have update the status of a task, cancel a task. As you can see, storage.cancel task and storage.task exists to check a task if it exists or not. And finally, we need the implementation for async notification manager to manage the notification, set a task notification, get a task notification, or remove a task notification. This is when you want to emit the push notification as well for the task. So it's pretty straightforward. That's why I just trying to explain you guys instead of coding along, because it's just one-liners that we are doing here. And again, to reiterate, we have an echo agent which simply does is echo. We process the message and we use the default message handler to process, call the process message, which basically echoes. And then we have async task manager to manage the task. We have a notification manager to manage the notifications. That's pretty much all that we need on our agent for today. But let's say in future, if we try to make our agent more complex, use a persistent storage, this is a place where we'll modify all the stuff. Now let's move to the server side. So server, to expose these capabilities that we just built for our client, let's add the server. On the server side, pretty straightforward. We set up the observability and then push sender. For now, no push notification sender, and storage as in-memory storage. And then we have our handler, which is the echo agent that we just built, and default request processor is what we use. Here we have to provide our agent information with description, provider, document URL, and comprehensive skills. For now, it's just echo as the skills with some examples. And right here we run our HTTP server just like how we would do when working with Axiom, Actix Web and stuff. So pretty straightforward, nothing fancy here. We just have our server which tells that this is what I can do as a remote agent. And as you can see, there is no custom handlers, those gets and puts and post request and stuff. Pretty straightforward and clean. It's a remote agent that can perform these tasks. That's it. Now let's move to the client side. On the client side, we just connect to our server just like how we would do when building our own HTTP server and connecting to both AT-AT. Then we want to process a task, which is just hello from HTTP client. This is my first A2A. And then we'll just use client dot, as you can see, there are tons of operations that we can perform. But for now, we are just interested to send a task. So we have task ID, we use it. We have message, we use it. Session ID and history length is something we don't have for now. So let's set up none and none, and do an await. We have OK response that tells us task is created. So we just print task created success. And right here, you can just show the status as well. So response.id and response.status. Similarly, if there is an error, we can just print saying error creating task. And right here, we can have yes. Similarly, we can retrieve the status, as you can see, get tasks and perform cancel task and all other stuff that we just check. But for now, I'll stick with these two. And we have our client ready, we have our server ready. Let's go ahead and do a test. Now let's run our application. So first, on my left, I run server. And here you go, we have our observability as well, telling us auth is false. Setting up the auth is pretty easy, just like how we do bearer and stuff we can do in when we build more complex stuff. But for now, our server is successfully running. Now let's run the client. Okay, so here you go, we have our task published. It's created successfully, task status working. And then if we see on the server side, there are different stages where we have related to our task, task created, and different other status as well. So request completed successfully, and we are able to successfully establish a communication between our client and server for A2A. I hope you guys understand and learn something new. If you do, you can even practice or try out different other functions like cancel task, subscribe for events, push notifications and stuff. In the future videos, we'll use all of those to build more complex agents as well. We'll use LLMs as well. So that's it. I'll catch you guys in another video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye-bye.